Since Just Dance 2022, we have been seeing stuff that would be recurring for the new era of the series, and one of those things would be dances that are tributes for popular artists, as we got Last Friday Night for Katy Perry, Telephone for Lady Gaga, and Gimme More for Britney Spears. That had me wondering what other artists could get tributes in the future, so I needed to think of ideas that could be possible. This list is purely suggestions, as we may not get all of them, and in the worst, or maybe best, case scenario, I could be right about the artists, yet wrong about the songs. Now, without further ado, let's put the records on and move our bodies onto the stage at once. Hey, I'm Owen the Fictionboy, and here are the top 5 artist tribute songs I want in Just Dance. Justin Bieber, Ghost. I'm starting off this countdown with an artist who has a fair amount of fans and haters, hence why Bieber is so low on the list. Where do I stand? Well, even as someone who liked his old music, I say his modern tracks are better, and Ghost is definitely one of those hits. I figured the coach would be, you guessed it, a ghost who mourns the loss of his lover who isn't with him, and would take a trip down memory lane with his friends. And by which, I mean the coaches from other songs, and what the ghost would do is possess the older coaches. As he's doing his moves in other people's bodies, he'd imagine his lover beside him, so he'd get the feeling of what he could have done while they were alive, and the routine could end with the ghosts getting back together as themselves. This is a tribute that could stand a ghost of a chance. Calvin Harris, Let's Go. Now let's go to the only artist more known for instrumental than vocal work, as well as the final male artist you'll see here. I thought of a modern classic from an artist collab that hasn't happened in the series yet, and I figured with Let's Go, we could have a huge admirer of Harris's works host a road trip with him getting all the coaches from previous dances together. And how can the driver convince the guests to go with him? Why, showing his moves, of course. Plus, the more coaches he has in his party, the higher his chances of winning more guests become. The dance would conclude with all the coaches together arriving at the perfect spot for their get-together. Also, there could be a fitness version that goes along with it, like there was one for Summer, or even better, get more Neo songs in the series. I'm sure this is an outing we'd go out for. Dua Lipa, Hallucinate. With a good chunk of Lipa's best songs already in the series, choosing the one most fitting for a tribute was a tiny bit harder, so I kind of went with my gut for this one and chose a track that may be considered underrated. What could be done with Hallucinate, you ask? A new girl could imagine, or rather, reimagine, the routines from old dances for the artist with or without her beside them. Though because some coaches were recycled for other dances, we'd probably have to resort to the extreme versions. Speaking of which, an extreme for this song could be based on the old cartoon style from the music video, especially since Cuphead, a modern game with the classic style, is one of the hardest games of all time. Or if that's not possible for the development team, the normal routine could be cartoony, whereas the extreme isn't. Don't give up the daydreaming of how such a fantasy can work out swell. Nicki Minaj, Voom. Similar to the previous entry, Nicki had many of her finest tracks in the series, meaning my job of picking the most fitting tune for a tribute was a challenge. Thus, I selected one that's pretty much underrated. Haven't gotten a clue on how Voom can be put to good use? If you don't know, this singer claims herself to be the main attraction, and a place where a lot of attractions would be at had come to mind. An amusement park. The main coach would be the woman who runs the funplex and is trying to encourage a little girl to participate in the activities. and helping the host would be the coaches from past dances, as they are in charge of the games, rides, food stands, and shops. As the tour progresses, the girls would try the stuff out with the host celebrating her sweet victories. Sounds as delicious as cotton candy, if I do say so myself. Ariana Grande, break up with your girlfriend, I'm bored. I know I said with my last two picks that I had a tough time choosing the song that would suit the artist the best, but it was with Ariana I struggled with the most. Despite that, after listening to the possibilities, I knew Break Up With Your Girlfriend, I'm Bored has the highest chance of working as a tribute. As the title of the track implies, the singer is tired of her man being with his current girlfriend. Then I figured, why don't we expand upon that in a dance that sees the main coach going through the motions as she sees the man she wants to be with hanging out with the coaches from the routines that had come before. The man would stop dating the old coaches as the song moves on, making the ladies more sad and the main coach more happy, as she has the impression that she's winning the man's heart more and more. And obviously, the dance would finish off with the coach and the man officially becoming an item, and they would be used as coaches for an alternate version with pictures of the man's exes being in the background. I truly do believe that this is a tribute that is simply just meant to be. Still need more fiction? Then please give this video a like, subscribe, share, and turn on notifications. Also comment below and follow me on Instagram for teasers and thumbnail previews of videos to come in the future. Thanks for watching, see you again soon, and good night-o!